My name is Ariel, and I work at the Creston-Dement Public Library, but I'm also a high school student. And I decided to do a series of videos about some skills that I wish I had had before I started middle school or high school. I'm going to be offering a bunch of tips and tricks that I've learned over the years that may help some of you out there. But I want to warn you that everything is different for every person. So it's best to just take some of these and try them, but also find out what works for you. Today's video is about doing homework. My first tip for doing homework is to find a time to do your homework. I'm a procrastinator, which means I often find myself saying, oh, I'm gonna do my homework after school. But the real question is, what counts as after school? Because 3 p.m. is after school, but 10 p.m. is also after school. And I've found that it's not a great idea to do your homework very late at night. That can be difficult for some of us who have after-school activities. I'm mostly involved in drama, which means most days we stay after school until 6 p.m. On days when I had drama until 6 p.m., I would often go home, eat dinner, do anything that I needed to do, and then I would do my homework right then so that I could make sure that I got it all done. But it's all about finding a rhythm for you. Another tip that I have when you're doing homework is to silence your phone or put it away from you. Honestly, it's very good to just avoid your electronics in general, whether you have a phone or a tablet or a computer. But as the years have progressed, more and more homework has become online, so you may find this difficult. But if this is the case for you, I would suggest just making sure to close out any tabs that aren't school related and make sure to close down any applications in the background that may also not be school related. My biggest tip when you're doing homework is to start with the hard stuff. I often find that I'm more motivated to do classes that I enjoy or classes that have homework that's very easy. So I find that it's best to do the more difficult homework, even if it's not difficult in terms of skill level, but just things that you don't like to do. I find it best to do those first. A big tip I have is something that may not work for everybody, but definitely works for me, is to have some sort of incentive for myself after I get done with homework. So, it's all about self-control, but I often will say, okay, I want to play a video game. And so I will tell myself, okay, I have to do my homework and then I can play a video game. Sometimes only on weekends because I have a longer period of time to do my homework, but sometimes if I have such big tasks to do where it just feels like I just can't sit and do all of my homework in one sitting, I have to take breaks, I'll tell myself, okay, I'm going to do this subject first, and then I'm going to watch a YouTube video. I think it's good to just put some breaks in there. Choose, a YouTuber that you like, maybe, that has videos between 10 and 15 minutes long, and you just say, okay, I'm going to do this subject, then you can watch a video. Then do another subject, and then watch a video. My last tip for today when it comes to doing homework is you really have to pace yourself. This tip mostly comes in when you're doing long-term projects. These are another thing that is really bad to procrastinate on because you don't want to be doing everything in the last 2 weeks. Sometimes your teachers will set goals or deadlines for you and they say, oh, you have to have this part done by this certain date and then this part done by this date and so on and so forth. But if your teachers don't do that, you need to do that for yourself because otherwise you may end up procrastinating, which is why it's super important. I've found it's a really useful skill to be able to make those goals for yourself so that you know, okay, I'll do this part by this time, this part by this time, and this part by this time. And then by the time you get to the end, you'll notice, hey, I already have everything done. There's nothing to procrastinate on. Plus, it's easy when you just set simple deadlines because rather than having, a huge project that's due in 3 months, you're going to have one little part of a project that's due in 2 weeks. Anyway, thank you so much for watching and stay tuned because I will be posting more videos, so I hope to see you then.